We were in the middle of working on the wiring when we realized we have the wrong bumper. How do you feel about that?
It sucks.
This is disappointing because we were hoping to have this done today.
Well, yep, we got the wrong bumper, but let's go back to the beginning.
So today we are working on replacing the bumper. This is probably going to be a multi-day project because we have somewhere to go here in a while. But we have started, and we have started removing the bumper.
Yeah, so well, it's really not that. I've already disconnected the things. God for things.
So much mud.
Huh?
Mud falling on you.
To ya. I haven't had my daily dose of dirt yet, so I'm good. New bumper on its way. Steel for a Tacoma. Uh-oh. There's some sort of guide pin that's holding it still. Tilted. Didn't expect it to tilt. Huh?
Are you having fun yet?
Yes. You ready to try and get this thing off?
So I'm going to try to explain what's going on here. So inside of the Tacoma bumper on each side, there's kind of a little pin hitch to keep it from coming off. Now, a lot of times this can be extremely easy to undo, but ours was giving us some difficulties. So after many tries, many attempts, we finally ended up getting it eventually in the end. It took many tries, as you can see. The easiest way to do it is to have two people. I don't know, I've heard people doing it from the middle and pushing up, but it's really kind of hard to do it by yourself, at least in my opinion. But you know, thank goodness for movie magic, because now the bumper's off.
Do you ever wonder what a Tacoma looks like without its bumper on? Well, why don't we show you? Look at that. Look at that departure angle it now has. That's crazy. Then you realize like how terrible you are at spraying mud off even though you think you did a good job.
So at least for the bumper we purchased, you have to remove the wiring from your original bumper. So you'll want to be careful as you remove that not to break anything.
Day 2.
It's a new day and Dane, I didn't do anything. Dane got the electrical off the old bumper. So we're already there. Apparently you guys got to squeeze really hard and yesterday wasn't coming out, but this morning came out nice and easy. So I think what helps when you start fresh. And so now we're going to show you the new bumper we bought. So there are no reviews of this bumper online at the time of purchase. So we're going to see how this goes. We're going to find out if this bumper is an easy put on or if it's going to be a giant pain in the butt.
As you can see, the bumper here comes pretty well wrapped from the factory with all the parts included needed for installation, except for the ones that you have to get off your old bumper.
So if you have a hitch, you have to remove the hitch from the old bumper, unless you bought yourself a new hitch. So that is what Dane is doing at the moment, and apparently it's a 13 on ours. How clean you think you are. You have sand everywhere, apparently. This was cleaned before we took it off, but apparently sand will hide. This is proof. So here is the bumper we bought. So I've unwrapped it from the plastic now, and it looks pretty nice. We've got a couple little parts that aren't exactly black, but that's okay. I can touch those up if I need to. But overall, it looks pretty nice.
It's at this point I would recommend that you inspect to make sure that you got the right bumper, because this is about to cause us some problems here in just a minute. If you were watching closely when I showed the instructions, there's quite a difference between this bumper and what's on the page.
So what we figured out is that the instructions are terrible. So they are like, oh, it doesn't matter if these aren't specific. It'll be fine. You can install your bumper, no problems. They do have a contact us at this email, but are they really going to answer? I don't know. So the first step we figured out is that if you have the one with the hitch like we do, you're going to want to reinstall your hitch. They do send you brackets, but they're not going to be compatible with the hitch. So if you're removing your hitch, then feel free to use those brackets. But we are going to be using the stock OEM Tacoma brackets that go with our hitch. So that's what we're putting on right now. It's a little dirty, but you know. So we're currently on this step. Apparently it's the factory bolts section. So you are supposed to reuse your bolts. The next section, they don't mention wiring on here. So that's what we're concerned about next. But we're going to get the hitch reinstalled onto it with the factory bolts as it says. And then we're going to figure out the wiring issue because there's a bunch of things that just aren't on these instructions. So we recommend that for whatever vehicle you're installing the bumper on is you Google what torque specs you need because it might be different for your vehicle. We're not going to quote them here just because I don't want to be wrong. But we Googled what it's supposed to be for our specific vehicle and we are torquing the hitch to those specs. So I honestly recommend going into your manual and figuring out exactly what your torque specs needs to be because you don't want your hitch coming off. So that is my one recommendation because they don't give you any torque specs at all in the instructions.
There we go. Whew.
So we were in the middle of working on the wiring when we realized we have the wrong bumper. How do you feel about that?
It sucks.
Yeah, so ours was supposed to come with the trail wiring hole. It's missing. And we should have noticed that right away, but it didn't occur to me because you're just excited because you got a new bumper and your truck's not going to look like it's broken anymore. Well, they have the specific hole we need all welded up. So if you decide to order from this company, make sure you get the correct butter. So far, I'm not impressed, and so we're going to see what their customer service aspect is.
We've specifically specified the towing package one.
I will show the picture of what we ordered versus what we got so that you people don't end up being unaware.
As you can see here, the bumper that we ordered had the trailer wiring in the bumper itself, just like the stock Tacoma bumper. However, as you can see, the bumper we ordered was missing that cutout hole. But there's an interesting wrinkle to this.
This is disappointing because we were hoping to have this done today. We've contacted the company. I've sent them an email and I've left them a voicemail. It is a Saturday today, so I doubt we're going to hear back from them, honestly. They say 24/7 support, but let's be honest, it probably isn't. The new update is check all your pieces because the picture online does not match what you get. The instructions are terrible. This is a case of manufacturers need to make specific instructions for the piece of equipment you are buying, not just generic crap. So this is the piece. It was showed as you saw the picture, but this is what it should have looked like that. It was in the box. We checked the box again. This piece is where the trailer one goes. That is not listed on the page. I'll show you right now. This is what you get.
See, because in the bumper picture, it shows a hole cut there.
See, it shows a hole. It's completely different than what you've ordered.
Yeah.
In case you're wondering, we're still not thrilled, but we're going to continue with the install because apparently we actually have the piece we needed. It's just different than we thought.
So for anyone who is slightly confused while I put the wiring together on the new bumper, I'm going to explain why that hitch piece is so upsetting to us. So from the bumper that we ordered, it was going to have the hitch part included in the bumper, which helps with departure angle off-road. The hitch piece they gave us for the trailer wiring goes under the bumper, thus making it easy to tear off, and we're trying to avoid tearing up our bumper again, why we bought a metal one. We decided to continue with the install and pursue a partial refund for the bumper should the company oblige. And as far as this wiring goes, it was no picnic. It was super hard to do, and I don't recommend doing this wiring at all. It took me forever. It took Dane forever. We took several different tries to actually get it to connect. And we found out that the light that we were actually wiring to from the factory didn't work. So we ended up having to go to Tractor Supply and buy a light from them to replace it with. After placing the bumper in place, it was time to start tightening down the bolts.
So this is where a second set of hands comes in place, is because if you aren't careful, this piece will rub against your paint. So you're going to want to make sure to have someone here to make sure that they're holding that gap for you, or put something in there that you can remove that'll get you that gap. It's gotta go there. That's just so, that's so dumb. It's supposed to be in the bumper. I feel like this is malarkey.
There, this bumper is baloney.
It's baloney sauce, man.
I need some help though. You're gonna Henry.
Look at that. That's just dork style, man.
It's like my 90s Ford.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, they're supposed to be in the bumper.
After we got our complaining out of the way, we had that part installed. However, the part where your plug is actually supposed to go into wasn't machined right. Are you surprised at this point? We're not. Dane ended up having to take a little bit of the metal off on the inside off camera to get this to actually fit. As Dane finishes up installing the trailer wire plug, we're going to cover whether or not we would buy this bumper again. In perfect honesty, we wouldn't purchase this bumper again, but it's not because of the lack of customer support that we received. It's overall the machining and quality of the bumper itself didn't seem to match the price point. We did receive a partial refund for receiving the wrong product, but still, I would have rather have had the right product to begin with. But let's not beat around the bush, let's show you the final result. We hoped you liked the video and found it informative in case you were looking for an off-road Tacoma bumper. Please like, subscribe, and share with your friends, and we hope to see you out there on the trail soon. Bye for now.